Hey YouTubers, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at yet again more crown mold, but we're looking at a larger system this time. So let's get into the demonstration. Now before we get into the actual demonstration of how I do this, I'm just going to do a quick before shot so you can see exactly what I'm dealing with. So there's a crown mold and it's on a base plate, so it gives it a little heavier look. And the ceiling is fairly high, but this kind of molding makes the ceiling look higher. Now you'll notice that between the crown mold and the ceiling there's some good gaps there, and there's also nail holes throughout. So instead of using filler, because the crown is so high, we're just going to go ahead and use the caulking, but I'll show you how I go about doing it so it doesn't show up so bad. So you'll notice that there's nail holes in the crown and also on this base plate right here and here. What I will do is work from top to bottom. So I just go about 1/4 of an inch to the edge of that root ceiling material and drag my caulking along, then release, apply and release, and then I work that caulking in so that it matches the edge of this ceiling material. And then do the same thing on the way back, and then on to the next section. So that it eliminates that gap between the crown mold and the ceiling. But we don't want to try to fill in this square notch. Don't want to try to fill that in, because it will never make that look square, so we just smooth it off at the edges. Then what I do is just apply a bit of caulking to my finger with the gun, and if you have the dripless gun, caulking gun, then you shouldn't have to worry about the material coming out. So what you do is apply a fresh piece of caulking, like a small, at the size of a sesame seed, and then push that into the hole and then wipe off the excess. And just keep doing that with every one. Till they're all done in your section, the section that we can reach safely with the ladder. Once we fill all the nail holes in this manner, we can leave it for a while. Then we want to caulk in the bottom edge of our crown. And then wipe it back. And then of course we have our damp cloth at the ready. So we wipe off the excess caulking on the rag. It keeps our hands clean as we go as well. And you just run that back to where it joins. Then you take the cloth, and this is firmed up enough now that we can wipe that off the ceiling in the face of the crown mold. Then we can go over very lightly the nail holes. So we take off the excess caulking there. And then lastly we do this bottom one. And that's it. So now we'll just go around the room one more time. And you can see that the all the joins have been filled between the crown mold and the backer plate and the wall and the ceiling. And you'll notice that it's not a V groove at the joint of the material on the ceiling, it's a square notch. So we've deliberately caulked up to the edges of that ceiling material. And of course when we come down onto the wall, we're going to have the same situation. See those square notches? And so we're going to apply the same principle on the walls as we do on the ceiling. So we'll just go around the whole room. You can see there's no more nail holes. And ordinarily we would use a Drydex or a spackle, some kind of filler, even wood filler, to fill in those holes, but because it's so high, because the ceiling is so high, our eye is just not going to catch it. We see the consistency all the way through into the corners. And again, and we see again those clean notches where the crown mold meets the ceiling. There's no black line. And then when we paint that, it'll look really smooth, really professional looking. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed that quick demonstration about caulking crown molding again. We see a slightly different situation with the square notch on the ceiling material. If it was a V groove, we'd tend to fill those, but we'll save that for another video. In the meantime, I hope this helps you in your future projects. If you have any suggestions for demonstration, go ahead and leave them on my channel. And by all means, like the videos and subscribe. Till next time, it's been Craig the Muskoka Painter.